everybody? Grant Miller here. Miami Community Newspaper with Misty Buck. It's called Marketing Monday or Monday Marketing. We're going to talk about LinkedIn, and a lot of people don't even know what most people don't know what LinkedIn is. It's a new new avenue to reach different people, mostly business people. Misty's working on programming her phone for Facebook. So while we're talking about a great day for the Miami Hurricanes, had a great day. And Misty, are you ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready.
I'm
Go
ready.
for it.
Alrighty, although I have to say gold nose because it's rivalry week around here, right?
I guess so.
I mean, yeah.
I hate to say it really isn't because neither team is, even though Miami's undefeated, it's completely different from when you went to college.
Completely different. But college game day is coming to the game, so I guess.
Is it really?
Yes, they said they just.
There'll probably be more people at that thing than in the stadium.
College game day, I don't know. We're gonna.
I went to the Dolphin game yesterday.
Did you?
And I swear, I took my mask down a little bit. Within minutes, somebody came by. Put your mask on.
Really?
It was here. The Buffalo Bills fans were going crazy. No mask. They had guys walking up and down, and they were in brown shirts, brown pants, and you know who else has brown? The Metro Dade Police. So you're a little confused. So speak about marketing.
So the mask watchers.
Yeah, they marched up and down, and congratulations to the Miami Dolphins for doing that. So of course I took
awesome
my son's. I don't have a credit card. I have cash with me because that's how I pay it there. They don't take
cash now. It's contactless payment only, right?
But how do you know that?
I think most places are doing that.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm still old-fashioned. So I had cash.
I went to the zoo the other day. Same thing. Contactless payment.
Right. So
card only, whatever you want to call it.
So congratulations to the Dolphins and Steve
That's
Ross
awesome to hear.
Group for making sure everybody's safe. There's certain times you have to go into the stadium. But it was a tough game for them. But the Buffalo Bills has about 10 players from South Florida. But we're here to talk about LinkedIn.
We could talk about sports all day probably.
Right.
But here we are. Marketing.
LinkedIn, it is... Since the virus started in March, I increased my friends by 8,000.
On LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn. I'm at 10, almost 11,000.
Okay.
Well, what else do you get to do?
Exactly.
To me, it's a completely, I don't even have it down right yet. Mm-hmm. It's a completely different way. It reaches completely different people than my Facebook, my newsletter. These are mostly business-driven people. They're wearing their suits. So what is LinkedIn? And why should John Doe, Jane Doe, Jose Joe, and
everybody. We're all inclusive.
And Jocelyn Doe. What's LinkedIn and why should I use it?
Yeah, so LinkedIn's sort of a mystery, right? People know that it's there. They trying to figure out should they use it, how often should they use it, and it's really a really wonderful place for professional development and connections. So certainly you can connect with people and create those relationships and network over Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, of course, because you're interacting with people, and that's in essence what networking is, right? But in LinkedIn, it sort of has this other purpose of that's where you go to really develop your business and your brand as an individual. So not just for developing your brand as a company if you own a business, but also for your brand as a professional. And that's, you can network really powerfully there.
Yeah, it's crazy because you find out who has their birthdays.
You can.
Yeah, it pops up. It's not everybody's birthday.
Right.
And when they
you can turn that off, by the way, if you want.
Oh. That's why I need more on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And they talk about everybody's anniversaries when they start a new job. You get to know a little bit more about their business. If you clicked on their name, it tells you how many people looked at you.
Right.
It's quite a unique tool.
It's really cool. And I actually found out the other day, I wasn't aware of this, but you can we'll talk about optimizing your profile. But one of the things that you can even do is you can, when you go to somebody's profile on LinkedIn.
I hate to interrupt you, but
what happened?
Our favorite marketer, favorite lawyer, the best lawyer, Mitchell Panther, is watching us right now.
Hey, Mitch.
Speak about how to market. But is LinkedIn the best platform for every type of business? Is it good for every business?
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially good for every type of business. Again, I think there's the most value in it. If you're a business looking to do mass hiring, LinkedIn might be a good place for people to go check you out, apply for jobs and all that, right? But it's also a really awesome place for you as a professional. And even if you're taking your business branding and you're making it a little bit more personal, actually, we don't often think of LinkedIn as a personal space, but if you're taking something that you do in your work world, so let's say as an example, on your profile pages, you can showcase projects that you've done. You can upload PDFs, you can link things, to showcase different, maybe you have a case study, right? You can post that on your personal profile.
By the way, you must be really good because it is, what time do you have?
Oh, let's see. 12:12.
12:12. Dave Arbetter, who serves 1,100 hot dogs a day, has stopped serving hot dogs and is watching our show right now. So you are a big dog in his house.
Hey, I got to come by and see you.
Yeah. Okay.
Make a visit.
How can I make my LinkedIn stand out, my profile?
Right. So a lot of people are asking about this, right? I think one of the top things that you can do is, so that headline that you get, a lot of people use that to just put their business. So they'll just say, oh, like maybe under Misty Buck, instead of just having it say CEO, founder, president, whatever, of Miss Inc., my marketing company. A lot of people will do that. They'll just put their job title there. But one thing that you can do is make it stand out a little bit more. So when people are searching and your name comes up, it sounds a little bit more interesting. Like mine says something about, I think it's the social media marketing problem solver, or it's something like that. Or head social media problem solver at Miss
Who wrote that?
That's what it says.
Who wrote? Okay, just making sure. You forgot what you wrote.
Yeah, I was like thinking, I tweaked it the other day, so I was trying to think what I tweaked it to. But it's, head social media problem solver over at Miss Inc. So something like that tells people a little bit more about what you do and how you solve problems, something a little bit more personal. That's a great place to do it. Also in that about section or that summary section, a lot of people will use that to just sort of copy and paste their resume. Make it a little bit more personal. Use it to tell a story, tell a little bit more like your bio, really help people understand who you are and what you do. Obviously, you can do your profile picture. You can have your cover image. You can, as I was saying earlier, you can upload projects that you've done and really showcase those. I think making sure that you update your awards, your community involvement, you can list that on there as well. So really, the more complete that you can have it, the more optimized your profile will be, and the more information it will give somebody when they connect with you or when they're searching for somebody like you. And by the way, I learned the other day, I think I started to say this earlier, that when you go, when you go to somebody's profile and it'll say, oh, people like this person, and it'll list it on the other side, you can actually turn that feature off on your page. So when somebody goes to my page now, they're not going to go see, oh, look at so-and-so's profile, they're also like Misty. I turned that off.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Right now we have the mayor of Sweetwater, Orlando Lopez, watching, who's really doing a great job in Sweetwater. You are turning the city around. If people don't know where Sweetwater is, it is next on the north side of FIU.
FIU, yeah.
And it also has a few little shopping centers there, some big ones, if I'm correct. They also have, what's that, Dolphin Mall? That's in Sweetwater.
Is it? I didn't know it was technically in Sweetwater.
So Orlando, the Mayor Lopez, keep up the good work and
awesome.
Keep moving forward. How can I get leads using LinkedIn, and what should I do?
Oh, man. So this is a huge question that people want to know. How do I, if I'm going to use LinkedIn, if I'm going to use any social media, I want to get leads from it. And I think if you've used LinkedIn, we've all gotten those really spammy messages in your inbox, like, hey, I noticed that you're also interested in this. By the way, maybe you'd be interested in signing up for my program, or I can help you do this, or I can help you do that. And they sort of just lead with the sale right away. And I don't know about you, but that sort of turns me off, right? So I think that there's a few ways to get leads that you sort of get around those types of messages. One being number one, be active on the network. Just tell people what it is that you're doing with your business. Share stories of success. Don't be afraid. Video does really well on LinkedIn, just like on any other network.
How long should a video be?
I think in general, you really don't want a video longer than like 30 seconds to a minute for those kind of channels. If you want a longer form video, you can use something like YouTube and direct people there.
Our videos that we're using, I put 2 or 3 on a week, under between 40 seconds and 50 seconds. Profile our, buy local, shop local. Who, you got some people watching right now?
I do have some people watching. This thing keeps going off. Here's Mitch. Hi, Mitch. He's got a bunch of comments on mine as well. I have Carolyn, my friend from Canada. Nice to see you, Carolyn. Thank you for always being on here. And let's see, who else do we have? Well, I think that looks like that's it for right now.
And Dustin Raven, you're following us. Thank you very much. Okay, what's the difference between my personal profile and a company page on LinkedIn? How do you manage it?
Let me back up for a second with the lead thing. Let's go back to that because we're talking a little bit about that. So just to go back to that for a second. So I think posting stuff about, we were talking about videos, posting stuff about your business, number one. Number two, interacting with other people on their profiles. So again, I say this about every network. You want to be an active participant. That's the part of networking, right? Is actually having conversation. So paying attention to what other people are posting and interacting with them about that. Number three.
I get it. I have let's say an attorney posts something. Okay, about their business. So I should share it, correct, on my LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can share it.
But you got to put a
write
comment
a comment.
Okay.
But I mean, to do that, you obviously want to be authentic in it because that's the best way to do it. So to get results, because think about when you post something, you're posting it because there's a meaning behind it for you. And when someone actually takes the time to look and read or listen to what you've posted, that sort of cements in your mind that relationship a little bit thicker with that person, right?
I just saw this morning Greg Barnes of Mercedes-Benz of Coral Gables.
That's where my husband works.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, they got, what's that real fancy car coming in?
The Maybachs.
Maybachs. Somebody just got one in.
Oh,
and I just says I can't wait to see it. It's impressive.
If you get to see it in person, you're lucky. That is
well.
That's an impressive
That's
car.
what I asked. I want to see it in person.
Yeah, that's an impressive vehicle.
How much that car goes for? How much?
I don't know. It's definitely out of my price range.
Okay.
But yeah, those are impressive vehicles.
Speak about Mercedes-Benz of Coral Gables. That place is spotless.
They are meticulous. It is so impressive. It's so impressive.
I don't know. It's clean. The floor in the drive up or in the garage, it is spotless everywhere. So Greg Barnes and everybody in that family, congratulations.
Yeah, I love that dealership.
Yeah. Well, it's unbelievable, and they got one in Cutler Bay too.
Yeah, they have the newer one in Cutler Bay.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so we talk about Omar Diaz. Thank you for watching. So what's the difference between a personal profile and a company page?
Okay, personal profile and company page. So it's very similar if you're familiar with Facebook, how you can create a business page where somebody goes in and likes, except on LinkedIn, it's not called a like, it's called a follow. And you can, by the way, if you have one of those pages, you can invite up to, I believe it's 100 people a month to like or follow your page. So I can go into my connections and up to 100 of those per month, I can invite them to follow Miss Inc. The only catch is that I can only invite somebody one time. So if they don't like your page, that's it. But that's one way to grow some followers there. On your personal page, that's where, again, where you get into, you have your username and password, you log in, and now you're in your personal page. And that's where you do all that bio stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Did you just go over how to connect people to your company page?
Yes.
Okay. Renee, again, thank you for watching and listening. He's a good follower. Okay, what type of content should I post or share on my LinkedIn?
Right. So I think people think, it's only business related stuff. I don't think that's true. I think, again, we talk always about people do business with people that they like. So, and people that are like them. So I think it's okay. You may not want to go to the extreme of showing your personal stuff as you would maybe on your personal Instagram, or even on your personal TikTok. But in LinkedIn, I think it's okay to not maybe share your family barbecue photos. Maybe you don't want to do that there, but maybe you want to say, hey, I'm involved with this organization, or I received this award, or here's a quote that really motivates me when things are going tough. Or I had this win this week, I was really struggling and I had this win this week, and this was a really big deal. So I think being more personal and not just always like sale, buy, here's something I wrote here, like that, that kind of stuff. It's not always about the sale. And I think that's one of the reasons that when people use the messages that fails.
It makes you more human.
Yeah, it makes you more human.
But in these times today, I don't think there's separation of state anymore. I think we are who we are. Right. And if whatever business it's not before 9 to 5, don't talk to me before 9 or after 5. Everybody's working 7/24. And if you call somebody at 6, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, they better answer, or you're going to go to somebody else.
True. I mean, and again, that depends on your personal
and my brother's
preference,
in the house.
Right?
You call him between 1 and 5 a.m. in the morning, and he will answer it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I will not do that.
Yeah, but I make
time.
a point that times are changed, and I think people like to know a little bit about you. So when you post something on there, yes, you can have your own personal stuff, but people want to know that you're human.
Right. Right. And I think that's one thing too, when we talk about videos, is people get, oh my gosh, people get so nervous to do videos, or no one wants to hear from me, or no one wants to see me, or I'm going to mess up. And the thing that I tell them is that I do videos and I mess up all the time, but I keep those screw ups in there unless it's really bad. I'll keep it in there because I'm human and I want people to feel that authenticity, right? I don't want to come off like robotic and I'm reading a script. I want it to be authentic. And so that's why, and then I tell people when they're afraid of, they're shying away from maybe even doing something like this, oh, I'm too shy. You know, you're not really going to screw anything up. You're just talking about things that you know.
You know,
and you're being human, to your point.
We do 3 to 5 videos, not Facebook, a week. There's screw ups all the time. I even say to the cameraman, I screwed this up. You know what he does? He puts that in. People want to know.
They love to see that. Like sometimes we'll do, back when we were in the office, everyone's working remotely in my company right now.
Are you ever going to go back to your office?
Everybody's remote still. But when we were in the office and I was doing my marketing videos, the girls would take clips of like the bloopers and they would post like their own. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, those were more popular than the actual content, like marketing tip videos that I did. So.
All right, we have Carol Golden. Thank you for watching. Gloria Ann Burns, who has her own show on community newspapers and works with us.
Hey.
She's also watching.
And my husband is watching. I guess he's on his lunch break. Fernando Hernandez.
Good cover. That was a good cover.
No, his lunch break is at noon, so that's probably appropriate.
Good cover. That was still good. Okay, what are the most underutilized tools on LinkedIn? So, articles, groups, showcasing, project links, and on profile, all that together.
Right. So we talked a little bit about some of those. I think you can take the articles, so writing something about your, like basically like you would a blog. So writing an article with some tips or something that you can, a story that you can share. So it's original content that you share on LinkedIn. Sometimes what we'll do, by the way, is if we write a blog, and we do this on behalf of clients, we'll post like the first few paragraphs of that as an article on that individual's page, and then within that we'll say click here to read the rest, and we'll do that as an article because that shows up differently and it helps to really, again, build out the profile so that when someone goes there, it's like, wow, you know, look at all this stuff that they have that really supports that. They know what it is that they're talking about. So I think that's something that's underutilized. I think groups are underutilized. So we were talking before about leads and interacting and gaining traction and expanding your network, and groups are a way to do that. So not just commenting on people's posts and sharing their posts, but maybe going to groups where there's like-minded individuals and interacting there. So a lot of people are building a network in their sphere of influence in those groups.
How often should I post?
All right, so on LinkedIn, again, it goes down to your strategy. I think the most important thing is developing something that you can actually stick with. So I think at minimum, if you can do 3 days a week, that's awesome. So again, thinking ahead, we've talked about this before about content planning. So maybe on Monday, you're going to do something motivational or a goal for the week, right? And people know on Mondays they're going to expect that from you, and you can plan something you can plan ahead. Maybe on Wednesdays, you're going to post something about specific to your business, or you're going to share something from your company page. And then maybe on Fridays, you're posting something a little bit more lighthearted. I have a client that we do this for. We post about like different funny like memes or videos of things that have gone on to kind of, again, build some more engagement and build some traction with things that people might want to interact with. And because it's Friday, it probably can be a little bit more lighthearted. So I think at least 3 days a week is a good way to do it. And again, going in there and being an active part, not just posting something and then not looking at it again until the next time that you post something. Really being an active member.
I want to answer that, but I like, this is Marketing Monday.
This is Marketing Monday.
In your LinkedIn, whatever business you're in, you could have names for each thing.
Yes.
And the other thing about it is, on Facebook I noticed it, and now I'm noticing on LinkedIn. Well, the last time they were on were 5 weeks ago.
Yes.
And they had a great quote. And I go, oh, they really care about that quote. It was, 5 weeks ago.
Right. And then people will comment and then they don't respond. And you're kind of like.
Correct.
Well, what? Hello.
So where is that? University Credit Union is one of our sponsors. Oh, over this camera. And I just want to make it clear, I don't have whiskey in it. It's water.
I'm gonna need to smell that. If it wasn't for this plexiglass, I might need to smell that.
That's Michael Welch, who's very involved with local business owners, local businesses, Chamber of Commerce, Business Association. Everybody knows it. Let's talk about generating leads. Is it a marathon? Is it a sprint? And most time people give up. I didn't get any leads. I'm done.
Exactly. They get frustrated, right? Because we're all doing
and what is
a million
lead?
Different things.
What is a lead?
That's a really good question. So I have
that's not for next week. That's for this question. What is a real lead?
Okay, so we'll start with that one. So I think people again they have. Oh, my brother's watching. Hey, Ronnie.
Hold on, wait. Put the camera on me, Ronnie. How does it look? Ronnie takes care of me, right?
Ronnie. My brother cuts his hair.
Yeah, right here, Ronnie. He's the best, by the way.
He is.
And I hear he does
really
my
hair as well.
Does your hair?
He does my
hair. I understand he's a great realtor.
My brother.
Speaking about great realtors, who's the greatest realtor you know?
My mother. You get it from your mama. There's a song like that from a long time ago, but we get it all. We get it from my mama, for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about generating leads.
Ronnie says, "What's up?"
Ronnie
says, "What's up?"
All right. My split ends, that's what's up. And my gray hair and my balding. I asked him, what about my bald spot, your brother?
Oh.
He says, why do you care? You don't see it.
Oh, my God.
You don't walk backwards.
Funny.
Forget your bald spot.
That's what he said? That's pretty good, though. I like that, Ronnie.
Okay, so leads. Is it a marathon? Is it a sprint? And don't give up too early. And what is
a lead? So a lead... this is going to sound like kooky, but it depends on your business. A lead for you might mean there's multiple types of leads that you can classify. A lead for you might mean somebody that you connected with that was recently outside of your sphere, right? So let's say you post something public, somebody is interested in it, or somebody shares it, and now somebody wants to connect with you on that. Maybe that's a lead, and it may not mean a direct sale right now, today, in this moment, but a lead in the sense that it's a relationship that you can begin to build and nurture, right? So that's one way to think about leads. Of course, the hard sale
lead is not a sale.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. A conversion is a sale. Right? So that's
something separate.
That's something separate. A lead is when you're just sort of bringing somebody in. A lead could be if you're sending somebody to a contact page, and when they fill out the form or they buy something, now that's a conversion. But if, let's say, they don't, right? They just want to download a white paper or a free checklist or something that you're offering, that's not a hard lead because they're not buying anything from you in that moment, but you can certainly nurture that lead to become...
That's a lukewarm.
But it's still somebody
to a boss, that's a lead, but to me, it's just a lukewarm.
Grant says, if you don't buy from me, you don't count.
No, but I'm saying that's, I'm going to give you a pen or something, but everybody looks at it different.
Yeah.
So, Gary Poe, thank you very much for watching. Leads for us, 2 days ago, we had how many people watch it one day? 24,000? 24,000 people watched that day. Okay. Are those leads? But those 24,000 people are watching community newspapers.
Right.
That's our brand.
Right.
And hopefully, a couple percent go, I want to buy digital, I want to buy print. So a lead is sometimes in whatever product you're in, doesn't mean a sale.
Correct.
And we look at long term.
Yes.
Because somebody today who's watching the show or listening to the show, by the way, everybody's watching, you're really watching for Misty, please share it on your Facebook.
Oh, that would be nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So the 200,000 people that are watching us right now.
200,000, yes.
We're
very popular.
You know how we get 200,000?
Very popular.
One person at a time.
That's true, and that's what we're talking about when it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, go ahead.
So
I know. I threw you the.
You gave me the lead. You gave it to me, so threw it right in there. So again, a lead I think is to consider. People get so caught up on, okay, but I didn't get any business from this, and I've been doing this for 3 months, 6 months, whatever. I mean, I'll share examples from you. There are times that I share content and I don't really get any traction out of it. And then every once in a while, though, somebody will see something and they're like, oh, I didn't know you did that. Or I've been following you for a while. Or, okay, now I'm really ready to do my social media marketing. I wasn't before, but I know you're still in it, and I know you're still on top of your game, or whatever, whatever the conversation is. And maybe I've been connected with them for literally years. This just happened last week. For somebody I've been connected with forever, and now they're like, okay, I really need to get on this. I have the budget to do it. I see you all over the place. Let's do it. So
well, you hit some points that are interesting. I didn't know you did that. And it happened so. I didn't know you had a Kendall News in Pinecrest. I didn't know you had this paper.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did digital. So that's part of the lack of communication. You have to communicate better to the prospects. Now, we both belong to a lot of business organizations.
Yeah.
Let's just use Pinecrest, for
Okay.
example. That's one you're very involved with.
Yes.
How many times you heard somebody says, I didn't get anything out of it?
Right.
Well, it only cost you X dollars. That's one thing. And I spent a whole hour and I didn't get any business from it. Well, you don't get business that way.
Not that way. It took me years to get my first, I think, with that association. I think it took me a few years to get my first project or client. But the clients that I have built relationships with through that, even just that organization, it's been years and we're still working together.
I try to tell people, you're not trying to get a lead. You're trying to brand yourself in whatever business you're in, whether you sell bicycles, you're a lawyer or a doctor or digital or
anything.
any marketing. You have to continue to see it in all the time. People go, I buy with this person. I buy with this person. I go, great. I said, I got another 32 more years.
Right.
I'm in no hurry.
Right.
And then somebody doesn't want to buy from you or me, I say, it's okay.
There's enough business for everybody.
Right.
I think we're okay on that.
Yeah. So,
what kind of newspapers do you have? Can you list them all off the top of your head?
We'll go from the south to the north. We'll go Cutler Bay News, Palmetto Bay News, Pinecrest Tribune, Kendall News, South Miami News, Coral Gables News. Then we go to the Miami Beach News. Then we go to Aventura News, Sunny Isles Beach News. Then we go to Doral. But then Doral Tribune. I also miss in between Coral Gables and Miami Beach, the Biscayne Tribune.
Yeah.
And then all those newspapers also have a newsletter by itself that comes out every 2 weeks. And by the way, on top of that, we also have a countywide newsletter that comes out once a month. Once a week. And in between all that, we do newsletters, we do digital.
Yeah.
So
you have the magazine too, right?
We have a health very good catch. Inspire Health. I hear it all the time. I didn't know you had that newspaper.
Yes, it's phenomenal.
And I have, the best story is it happens all the time. I remember Joe. I'm trying to think. Is called it's Joe C. He was a salesperson for us, and he went into a business. And he went to the back where the managers or the owner is.
Uh-huh.
I never heard of your publication. I don't want to buy. So Joe walks out, and he goes to the front of the lobby. There's our paper right there. So Joe walks back all the way back to the back of the office, and said, "Mr. Owner, you said you don't know our paper, but it's right in the lobby."
Here.
He's right there. Oh yes, that paper's been with us. We store your paper's here.
Oh my!
And everybody reads it, but I didn't know it was that paper.
Yeah.
Because the salesperson didn't call it Kendall News; he called it community newspapers. So part of the challenge we all have is make sure what we say is who we are and brand yourself right.
Right.
And I hear it all the time, but right now, because of this virus, it's forced us. Hold on one second. We got a live call.
Live caller.
Michael Gongora, Commissioner, are you there? I'm on live Facebook. I was just checking up on it. How's my favorite Miami Beach Commissioner? All right. Let me call you right back. So
And that is Grant Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you get a call from a commissioner. So Steve Cody, candidate for Palmetto Bay, is watching. Thank you, Steve. And speak about him. He is one of the most brilliant men in politics in the world you'll ever meet.
Really?
And
I've not had the opportunity to meet him
and
yet.
you want to talk about who could write commercials? Steve Cody has about 10 kids' books that he publishes.
That's awesome.
I don't know where to find them. Steve, where can we find your books? He'll be paying attention soon.
Yeah.
But we have to brand ourselves, and LinkedIn is just one of the steps. We talked about Facebook last week. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Facebook. And you got LinkedIn. What are you talking about next week?
Instagram. We talked about just content planning.
Well, let's go back to Instagram.
Okay.
And videos. We did a video on Frankie's Pizza.
Oh, my favorite. My parents grew up on it. We've grown up on it.
Okay, what's crazy about Frankie's Pizza, it was great marketing. They give you a pizza, but they give you one piece on top. Did you notice that?
The extra one.
You know why? So
That's
you don't
the best.
ruin the pizza when you get home. So we had, how many didn't you know?
52,000.
52,000 people by itself. It was, and I want to tell you something. It was hot. It was brutal. We couldn't get inside because they don't let people inside.
Right.
But you never know what video takes and what doesn't. And it doesn't matter if it's 52,000. That was on Facebook, not on Instagram. It doesn't matter how many it is. It only matters who saw it.
Right.
So people out there, whether it's your LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. You got some viewers you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's see. John Abel is watching. Hi, Johnny. Good to see you. I haven't seen him in a while.
Who's that, an old boyfriend there or something?
John Abel? No, you don't know John Abel Corp?
No.
You're not familiar with them? Well, anyways,
And
it's a family business for many, many years.
George Gonzalez is watching also. Anybody else?
Not at the moment. Oh,
Okay.
wait, let's see.
So,
Nope.
so all I know is that what you keep telling us, we did Instagram, we did
Yeah, we've done Facebook.
LinkedIn.
We haven't done Twitter yet.
Okay.
So we can do something about that. And then we can, dive into specific topics if we wanted to, just maybe only about blogging. I have some guests that I'm going to bring on that are going to talk only about search engine optimization. Last week we talked about ad strategy for digital driven ads or data driven ads, I should say. So we're going to talk about all sorts of things to help really demystify, I hope, a lot of these different areas.
Steve Cody says he grew up eating Frankie's pizzas, and with the two sisters at Southwest High School.
Yes. Oh, that's where my parents went.
Really?
Yeah. They grew up in that area. That's why we
Wow.
are Frankie's people.
Okay, so next week we're having who?
Next week, I don't have anybody locked in yet, but in October, I have a few guests already.
We're excited. I think Marketing Monday is great, and people out there, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer, but you have to do something.
You have to do something, and again, remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So invest in what you're going to do and commit to it. I tell people, don't feel like you have to do everything. Don't feel like because TikTok is super hot right now that's where you have to be. It may not be right for your business.
Do you know how to do the dance? One of the dances?
Oh my God, that's how you know.
Oh.
I did do a touchdown dance of my own invention on TikTok the other day. It was
Steve
very
Cody says,
embarrassing.
are you going to talk about SEO?
Yes, we're going to be having an SEO segment. I don't know the exact date yet, but I will keep you guys posted. I'm trying to lock in the right person for that.
Right. So again, there's no right answer. I tell everybody it's like a pizza. It's like you got to do a little bit of everything. Because you don't, you're going to miss out. But you can't overload on. You can't just do one thing. You have to do a little bit of everything.
You want to diversify. I had a client just tell me today, like, oh, somebody was looking for I'm going to say a service. I don't want to give away too much information, just like ours. And they knew about us from a long time ago, and then they open up a magazine and boom, there's our ad, and it reminds them like, oh yeah, let me call this place. And so now they are going to essentially hire them for that service. So I think diversifying where you're at and what you're doing, and not putting all your eggs in one basket is definitely the way to go. So that might mean not just posts, but ads and this and that, and a campaign with Grant to really reach your local market if you're really hyper local, or all of the local markets. As you can see, they do a lot of things here. What, you got another phone call?
Yeah, this from George Gonzalez asked Misty if somebody has called her. I recommended her a call after watching her on community newspapers. Instead of calling George, your friend, have her go to Misty's.
Yeah, you can go to the website.
Page.
I will put in the comments. I'll put actually how to contact me as well, and on email and all that. So.
Okay, you can reach that way. But thank you for sending her business.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's close it out.
All right, let's close it out.
Go for it.
You or me? Me
You're
this
it.
time? Oh, well, since you started with the Hurricanes, I'm going to start with the Seminoles.
Show's over.
Oh, the show's over. Now they're saying, the producer says show is over. No, but it's all in fun. We're all here having an awesome week in Florida. I know there's some rain moving through, but apparently we have some cooler weather coming. So there's always something to be thankful for, and there's always something awesome on the way. I know we've all been pretty stressed out and overwhelmed, but there really is something always to be grateful for. And I want to be grateful today for this segment and for Grant allowing me to be here today, and for you guys for watching. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful week.